Hello guys, I'm back with another video today. The video I wanted to talk about, the movie I wanted to talk about today, is a movie that came out the year I was born. I was already born when this movie came out. This movie came out a month after I was born. Um, it has a cult following. It is a cult classic now, and it's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's something that I can watch over and over again. And the movie is Wes Craven's Scream. The film that reignited the slasher genre in the 90s. So, yeah, this was released in 1996. Um, my parents said that I was actually there when they saw it because my parents met in 1996. They were there when they saw it. They all saw Independence Day that very same year. Um, but yeah, so I was already born when this movie came out. In this movie, and my parents they saw it like I said, and they saw it in theaters. I saw when I was younger. I didn't actually get scared of it. I was just like, it just became a favorite of mine. It has one of the best openings in a horror movie. It was kind of mad with itself because they thought Drew Barrymore was going to be the star of the movie, but they killed her off right at the beginning. Originally, Drew Barrymore was going to be the role of Sydney, and Sydney was going to be the role of Drew Barrymore, but they decided to switch it. I think it was good because her career was kind of going down the shitter after Batman Forever. But yeah, um, that's it. The screenplay was written by Kevin Williamson, who also wrote Dawson's Creek, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Um, yeah, Wes Craven directed this movie. I like I like Scream. I like this. It's one of my favorite franchises. I know there's only four movies. It's a quadrilogy, but it's become iconic and popular and become a staple in the genre. This is a must own for anybody. Okay, so it tells the story of a woman named Sydney Prescott who becomes the target of a serial killer who's offering people around her, and they're offering people around her, and they're saying that it's still worse that it has a connection to do with her mother's death, and the victims point to her friend Randy, her boyfriend's friend, her friend, her dad, and maybe a cop. Um, it also has Courtney Cox in it, and it has David Arquette. It also has Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy in the Scooby Doo movies. It even starred Rose McGowan from Charmed, but like I said, one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite horror movies. So yeah, the Ghostface mask has become something iconic. I know it's just copycats, but the mask itself, the costume is iconic. This was originally the original design for the mask was going to be more ghoulish, but they decided to go with the screaming face, which I thought was pretty good. I do have the soundtrack for this movie though. What the fuck is it? No, it's right here. Hey, look, here's the soundtrack. See, here's the soundtrack. But yeah, so this movie, um, it's really good. It holds up really well. It was well made, well acted. You know, I argue with some people. When I had Facebook, like before I got scammed my account, I would argue with people like some people say, "Oh, Scream is one of the worst movies ever made." I'm like, how? I'm like it was meta. The characters are actually well likable. The characters aren't like the Friday the 13th characters or Texas Chainsaw Massacre characters. We just want them all to die. No, the characters are actually likable. There's character depth. There's fleshed out characters. Even the ones that get killed, there's fleshed out characters. Um, but yeah. So that's the thing about the Scream movies. Yeah, Scream actually has fleshed out characters like Halloween and Scream, and Nightmare on Elm Street are franchises that have fleshed out characters and characters that aren't just there to die. Um, yeah, I argue with people about that sometimes. Like Scream actually has good characters. They have memorable characters. They're not like Friday the 13th where all the characters are just stereotypical and they have nothing going for them. Because you know how in Friday the 13th all the characters do goal is just to go to the woods, have sex and drink and all that. You know, I mean that was done to death for like 7 movies already. But yeah, like the characters got killed in Friday the 13th. Like like in those movies, like it's like like you didn't care for any of the characters. Like even some people said that they don't remember their names. Look how forgettable they are. But Scream actually has likable characters. It has ability. It has a protagonist you can root for. Um, you know, it has characters you can root for. It actually has smart. Yeah, they're stupid characters, but the killers get outsmarted here. But you're rooting for the characters to survive, not the killers. Oh, that's why I like Scream. Like I said, I reviewed I Know What You Did Last Summer, another video ago. I like that movie too. But Scream is the reason why I Know What You Did Last Summer exists. Kind of like how Halloween is the reason why Friday the 13th exists. Yeah. The score by Marco Beltrami is really good. I love the score for Scream 1. All 4 Scream movies. Yeah, Marco Beltrami did the scores for all 4 Scream movies. I'm kind of upset that they're delaying that they're waiting till 2022 for Scream 5 to come out. I'm like you're gonna release in 2022, release in 2021 on the 25th year that Scream's been out. Like, I get it, it's gonna be January 2020 and all that. We have to wait like a year and like 4 months, but I don't know. Cause I'm already mad that they delayed Halloween till next year, but it's whatever. But I like those Scream movies. Now, in another review, I did say Scream 3 was the worst, but I don't mean that like in a bad way. It's a watchable movie. It's not great, but it's just a good movie. It's not oh my god really good like Scream 1 and 2 now. What I meant by the worst, like, it's just the weakest. Scream 2 is a really good sequel. I like that better than the original. I like that better than the first Scream. Scream 2 is awesome. Movie's more of a mystery. This is more of a mystery movie, like a whodunit type trope, because all you see a killer in a mask, but you don't know who it is yet until the reveal. One of the best plot twists ever. But yeah, this movie's really good. It's 111 minutes. It's rated R for strong graphic horror, violence, and gore, and for language. I mean, it does have gory violence, but it's not graphic. Another fact, this movie almost got an NC-17. Wes Craven lied to him that he didn't have a much better effect, so they kept it in, typical Wes Craven. It's one of my favorite Wes Craven movies, along with Last House on the Left and the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, another fact, Wes Craven makes a cameo in this movie as a janitor named Fred, and he's wearing the hat, the fedora, and the sweater. Nice little nod right there. Even Linda Blair from Exorcist has a cameo in here. Linda Blair, Ray McNeil. It was pretty cool. The soundtrack for this is really good too. Like I said, I like this movie. Even had an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, nothing bad to say about this movie. Like I said, fleshed out characters, good character development. I know some people may not agree, but I argue with people about that. Like, say what you want about Scream franchise. At least it doesn't have characters like Friday the 13th, where all the characters just go there just to get killed. Like, it's like whenever they get killed, it's like you just don't care if they get killed. It's like, oh, okay, I'm glad they're killed because they were nothing. But here you actually got a final girl that you can root for, because final girl you can relate to. Her mother was killed the year before. Her friends were, and when she had friends around her that were killed, she was nearly attacked herself too. And then to find out her boyfriend was a killer, yeah, it kind of trashed her life. And in part 2 was, her life became more trashed because the murders were still continuing. But I'll review part 2 sometime. But movie is awesome. It's a cult classic. Like I said, I can watch this a lot of times. But this is one of Wes Craven's best movies to me. I have a ton of Wes Craven movies. The ones I don't have is Shocker, or People Under the Stairs, or Swamp Thing. I don't have those. But yeah, this is good. So guys, that was my review into Scream. What do you guys think of this movie? Cult classic, good movie, nah, it's okay, whatever. So logging off. Stay safe during this pandemic. Just endure what y'all are doing right now, because it's probably gonna go on until next summer too. So just endure. Till then, just watch my video. See you guys.